All right. Hello, everybody. KVUE Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here. We have a lot to talk about here in this forecast, but we appreciate everybody joining us as always here on KVUE Plus and YouTube Live for our extended daily forecast. So today, we went into today mainly focused on the fire danger, and we still are. There is actually a fire that's developed not in our KVUE area, but in San Saba County that we're keeping an eye on. Still, humidity is low, and it's relatively breezy in the hill country, so between now and sundown or so, that fire threat's going to continue. But along the dry line that came in and brought us this windy, low humidity weather, there were actually a couple of storms that developed. We thought that maybe over Milam County there would be a couple of storms this evening, but they actually made it down a little farther south than what we were expecting. So with that, let's get into the forecast. And by the way, we are not done talking about fire weather potential. Tomorrow I've got record-breaking heat in the forecast, and then on Friday, another dry, breezy cold front comes in, and that likely ramps up our fire concern once again. Here's a live view from our downtown Austin tower cam. You can see those kind of departing clouds and departing storms. The storms have kind of come down in intensity a little bit, which is good news. Hey, we'll take the rain, but we definitely don't want hail and severe weather. One thing that I want to show you, though, real quick back behind the storms. Here is a view from our Oasis cam. It's not as thick as last week, but you see a little bit of that kind of rusty orangish color in the sky. We have a little bit of not South Texas, a little bit of West Texas dust, which is making its way into our KVUE area thanks to these kind of breezy winds. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in a second too. Today, 90 degrees, our first 90-degree day of 2025. About a month ahead of schedule, not quite a month, but close to a month ahead of schedule. I was thinking that tomorrow would be our first 90-degree day. We'll have widespread low to mid-90s, but we ended up overachieving and hitting it today. That was not a record. Today's record was 92 back in 1904, but it's obviously way above average. 89 was the high at the airport today. All right, so here's the radar right now. There were not any storms at all over the hill country, and even most of the metro stayed dry, especially South Metro down into Hays County. But you can see where these storms went up from northeast Travis into southeastern Williamson County into Milam County, and still we are keeping an eye on these storms as they move into the Bastrop area. Kind of splitting the difference there between Bastrop and Elgin, and then out towards Tanglewood and northern Lee County. Also some storms for you. None of these are severe right now, but especially this one, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's actually go in a little bit closer and we'll kind of inspect this one. Some of these storms did produce a little bit of small hail over southeastern Williamson County earlier. This one looks like maybe there could be a little bit of hail in there. Let's check in with our hail tracker. Give me 1 second. There we go. Here's the hail tracker. Unfortunately, it's not picking up on anything. You can see that storm does have a little bit of that kind of hook look to it that we look out for with tornado threats, but not seeing anything that's saying there's a tornado risk with this storm. But obviously, we will keep an eye on it. Now, behind the storms, it is still very warm. Look at this. Temperatures in the 80s right now. It is 84 in Georgetown. Lano is at 86 degrees right now. Wind speeds and gusts, really the strongest winds, and we didn't think this would be the case. The strongest winds, though, did not make it into the Austin Metro today. The peak wind gust in town at Mabur is 26 miles per hour, but there were some 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts back in the hill country. Now, even there, these wind numbers, for the most part, are kind of coming down, which should help to improve our fire danger. But still, humidity is certainly low. I mean, relative humidities are in the teens and single digits as you go back west into the hill country. So it's bone dry air behind this dry line. So between now and 9 o'clock, let's continue to be safe, be mindful, avoid any outdoor burning. Still, we've got those fire weather conditions going on. Hey, I took this snapshot from about 30 minutes ago. So the storms were over the metro, but kind of cool here on the high-res satellite. You can see this kind of brown, murky color here. That is actually West Texas dust, which, as I mentioned, is blowing into parts of the hill country, maybe even into parts of the metro. So it's not going to be like the thick dust that we had back on Tuesday of last week, but it could be enough to give us kind of some pretty colors here in the sunset this evening. All right, so storms there kind of essentially on the way out now. I think by 8 or 9 o'clock, any of that activity over Bastrop and Lee County will be gone. Rest of the overnight is going to be completely dry. Then we go into tomorrow morning. You can see eventually that front kind of continues to ease its way through. Humidity will continue to be really, really low tomorrow, but fortunately the wind is not going to be nearly as gusty. So our fire threat tomorrow, despite the fact that we're warmer, is actually going to be lower. Here's the hourly forecast. You can see 50s in the morning, then we warm up quickly. Low to mid 90s are in the forecast. I have 93 in the forecast for Austin. Low to mid 90s area wide for the vast majority of us. with the exception of maybe a few spots in the hill country, this should be the warmest day so far of 2025. The record tomorrow, by the way, in Austin is 92 from back in 1971. I think we will beat that. 93 in Lockhart, 92 in Bastrop, San Marcos, 93. Here's a closer look at the Metro and I-35 corridor. It's going to be low to even mid-90s everywhere. We are not talking triple digits yet, but hey, maybe before too long. We're already getting up into the 90s. All right, so tomorrow, as I mentioned, kind of a one-day break from the bigger fire weather concerns. I'm not trying to say the fire risk is zero, but it's much lower tomorrow. We've got kind of moderate fire danger. But then Friday into Saturday, that breezy front comes in, more low humidity. Another front that really struggles to bring much, if any, rain. So fire threat's going to ramp up. It actually might be even higher Friday and Saturday compared to what we had today. Texas A&M says very high to extreme fire danger is in the forecast. There's already a fire weather watch noon to 9 p.m. on Friday. This includes all the same areas along and west of I-35, so this is very likely to be upgraded to a red flag warning. So we have already issued a weather impact alert day for Friday that might even be extended into Saturday. So let's talk about the winds here. As I do that, I'm going to go back to the radar here just 1 second. I just want to make sure our storm in Bastrop County is behaving. I'm going to make sure I keep an eye on that. Again, as we kind of look at the radar here, the activity is all over Lee and Bastrop counties right now. The storm heading into McDade, I can't rule out a little bit of hail in there. Again, just something that we're keeping an eye on, but just wanted to make sure we are keeping up to speed with the latest scans here. So now let's get back into our forecast with kind of the wind and how this develops. As we go into tomorrow, thank goodness the wind is going to be considerably lower. So here's 4 o'clock tomorrow, 15-mile-an-hour wind gust. That's more or less kind of like an average day here in Central Texas. Then as we go into Friday, all right, so here comes that second breezy cold front. These winds, again, are not going to be crazy like 50 to 60 like what we had last week, but when you have warm temperatures, ongoing drought, very low humidity, and you start to throw in 30 to 40 mile-an-hour winds, the fire threat pretty quickly ramps up. So here's 4 o'clock on Friday. They let up a little bit for Friday night, but then Saturday we get another push of wind coming in with another round of widespread 30 to 40 mile-per-hour winds on Saturday. So both Friday and Saturday will be windy. Both are likely to bring elevated fire danger. As of now, just a weather impact alert for Friday, but I would say it's probably likely that gets extended into Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, so 7-day forecast, 93 tomorrow, record-breaking warmth. Looking likely in Austin. Weather impact alert on Friday for that high fire danger with that breezy cold front coming in. Windy, high fire danger conditions continue into Saturday, but there is actually a little bit of cooler air coming in behind this system. Still, these numbers are above average for this time of the year, but 79 on Saturday. Sunday will feel pretty nice at 76. Then Monday, St. Patrick's Day, 81. We'll be warming back into the mid-80s as we get into the middle of next week. So that is what we are tracking for you. We appreciate everybody joining us for this nightly extended update on the forecast. We'll keep the updates coming. Again, just got to summarize everything. Keep an eye on the fire weather conditions here over the next couple of hours between now and 9 o'clock. Otherwise, those storms that are happening in our eastern counties will move out here over the next couple of hours as well. Tomorrow, lower fire danger, but very, very warm. And then Friday into Saturday, the fire threat's going to ramp back up. So that's it for now. Next update from me will be KVUE News at 10 o'clock coming up in about 3 hours. We'll see you then.